Hey there, internet friends. Trevor Starkey here with another episode of That Nerdy Site Plays. Sitting down today with the demo for Final Fantasy XVI. Game comes out in a little over a week, and they announced on Sunday that demo was going to go live at 1 a.m. And that it's the first couple hours of the game, and that carries over, as you can see here on the screen. This demo features several chapters of Final Fantasy XVI's first act. All saved progress can be carried over to the main game. So I don't have work on Monday, so I'm gonna stay up and play the game, play through the prologue. And then once you finish the prologue, you open up a basically another section of the demo, or a second demo, that is more like later game combat focused. So yeah, let's see how our time in Valisthea goes. I'll kind of go with all this base stuff. We'll go action focused. Get a feel for the combat.
It was.
And we're gonna hope that
the chronicler
the video works
that the
well.
land of
Because I tried recording this a little earlier ago,
in the light of the mother crystals.
and it didn't. It kept cutting out. So fingers crossed. I adjusted some settings.
Finally led our forebears out of the darkness. Yet, what they saw in the light gave rise to temptation. Temptation that ever lures us back into the crystal shadow. And thus did our journey begin.
Don't know how effective launching fireballs at Ifrit is going to be, but and I missed the timing on that. There we go. That was better. Year of the Realm, 873. The Nysa Defile, the Dalmacan Republic. Something, yeah.
It'll be light soon. Both camps have begun to stir.
You all know the target. Shiva's dominant. And only the dominant.
No one else? Where's the fun in that? How do we even know the girl will be among them?
Our kind do not question orders. We follow them. Try to keep that in mind. Let's get this done.
Nice little use of magic, sure. They did indicate that the prologue is very cutscene heavy in these first couple hours, so I don't know how much actual gameplay I'll be doing, but better to knock it out now than
Focus, Wyvern.
be able to jump in directly into the
You are
game in a
key
couple
to this
weeks.
mission's success.
Yes, Sergeant.
I said focus, Wyvern.
The main menu. Press start at any time outside a cutscene to open the main menu. Gameplay settings. Gameplay's configuration settings, including camera inversion, can be adjusted on the System tab.
We don't have time for this. All hell is about to break loose.
Yep, and here's our menu. Options on the System tab include wireless controller configuration, as well as video, audio, accessibility, and language settings. Well, yeah, let's go ahead and create our save file. There we go. Oh, I love that the save file gives the old, pixel art style. And of course they have the direct link to purchase the, the game from the demo.
Time to move.
We're just in time.
The Republican Army front lines.
These Iron-blood are more beast than man.
Why this is going, they won't need this new dominant of theirs. What?
The Zenitra stronghold, the Nisa defile.
Quickly! Move! What do you mean you refuse? Did you not pledge your swords for our cause?
Come now. Marshal, the King of Waloed is our guest.
And you have His Majesty's answer.
I wonder that you summoned us at all. Have you so little faith in your own men? It was the Dalmex who drove back the Crusaders in the Battle of the Twin Realms, was it not? Or am I mistaken? Besides, Your dominant has yet to take the field. And when he does, our knights would only get in the way.
Perhaps you have not heard, but the Ironblood now have their own dominant. We would be fools to underestimate them.
Bugger their knights.
What did you say?
Should this citadel be allowed to fall, the capital will lie exposed. And I doubt the Crusaders will wait for the good king's pawns to line up before taking to the board. Which just leaves me.
Hopka!
The Ironblood will rue the day they set foot on Storm. This game is over.
You cock.
Benedicta.
Take care.
Does the lion take care when he chases the hare? Or do you think me one of the latter?
No, my love. You are a lion. You're my lion.
I'm not afraid of a little frost, Benedicta. But I will need someone to warm me when I come home.
The front lines are gone. This is our chance. The chaos will conceal us.
Game looks real good. I will say that. And it is wild coming into like a new mainline game. I was very down on 15. I liked like a lot of 15, and then it just hit a wall in like the chapter 11 stuff, and it just lost me completely.
As always. Take the van.
Wait. Something's not right.
Titan. So the Darmaks finally grew tired of being slaughtered.
And look who's here to greet the bastard.
Hey, it's Shiva. Titan definitely just killing a lot of their own guys.
don't get to die here, Wyvern. Move!
Anyway, yeah, after a less than stellar experience with Final Fantasy 15, it's been a wild few years because 2020, Final Fantasy 7 Remake was my game of the year. Final Fantasy 14 Endwalker was my game of the year in 2021. And I didn't consider it for game of the year stuff last year, but the Ever Crisis reunion was a ton of fun. Come on, why aren't you? Okay, are you not? Okay, I guess I gotta go this way. Yeah, the Crisis Core remake was a ton of fun in 2022. So it's wild that like this is a potential game of the year contender for 2023. Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth for 2024. It's like 5 years of great Final Fantasy games. Given I did not connect with 12 or the 13 trilogy either, it's been a long time coming, so I'm happy. Oop. This could have gone better, I think, for them.
Wyvern! Wyvern! I told you before, you do not get to die here.
Flashback to young Clive. Yep. "13 summers earlier, year of the realm 860.
Do you yield?
Rosalith, the Grand Duchy of something something.
Well, if you're not cut out to be a shield, there's always work for you in the stables. Unless, of course, you think you can defend your master while sat on your arse in a puddle of pig swill.
I'm sure he'd find a way. My brother always looks after me. Right?
Go on. You're sure to hit him eventually.
Don't give up now.
Hello, Pup Torgal. Wolf Torgal.
2 arms, then. It wouldn't do to disappoint the gallery. Let's start again from the beginning. Come, show me your form.
Attack the Lord Commander. Melee attacks. Press square to perform a melee attack. Up to 4 attacks can be chained together.
Once more, please. Very good. Such swordsmanship will serve you well in the field. But can the same be said of your spellcraft? The flames of the Phoenix burn within you. Now let them burn without. Come, Clive. Rain fire down upon me.
Channel your inner flame. Land a fire spell 5 times. Magic. Press triangle to cast fire. A ranged spell that can strike enemies from great distances. Alright, first locking on. There we go. 2. There we go. 3.
Keep them
4.
coming.
5. Lesson complete.
Well done. You wield the Firebird's flames just as a first shield should.
You flatter me, my lord.
Or would you rather I flattened you? Can be arranged. Let's see if you can elude my blade. After all, your attacking prowess will count for naught if you don't live long enough to use it. On your toes, Lord Rossfield.
Stay quick on your feet. Evade 4 times. Press R1 to evade an enemy's attack. Precision dodging. Evading an attack at a precise moment it is dealt will temporarily slow the enemy, making it more susceptible to a counter using square or triangle.
Never take your eyes off your enemy.
Yeah, that's 1. There we go, precision dodging.
How did you dodge that?
Dang it.
Oh, sure I had you.
That was amazing!
Alright, 2 of them precision dodges.
Good.
Better than I would normally do, I feel like.
Remember, Clive, your blade is not your only weapon. Quickness of thought and fleetness of foot are indispensable arms in any shield's arsenal. But you are not just any shield, are you? Show me what sets you apart from the rest. You have been blessed by the Phoenix, granted the use of its power. Call upon that power now to close on me. Well, I'm waiting.
Close the gap. Execute a Phoenix Shift 3 times. Iconic feats. The blessing of the Phoenix grants Clive the ability to perform feats of inhuman strength and dexterity. Phoenix Shift is one such iconic feat. Press circle to swiftly close in on a target. Shift attack. Both melee and ranged attacks can be used while executing a Phoenix Shift. Okay.
Good.
There we go.
Fly at your foe before he can raise his guard.
Neat.
Impressive. But even the most agile shield cannot hope to escape every blow. And death may come by a handful of cuts as easily as it comes by 1,000. There is only one way to ensure that you do not fall. Keep your wounds mended and your energies replenished.
Potions.
Speaking of which, my lord, you seem a little worse for wear. Now that won't do at all.
Mend your wounds. Use potions to fully restore HP. Consumables. Consumable items such as potions and tonics can be used to restore Clive's HP or temporarily boost attributes. Item shortcuts. Consumables can be assigned to up, right, and down on the D-pad via the Items tab in the main menu for quick and convenient use. These items can also be used directly from the menu. Right. A high potion. There we go. Oh, and there we go.
That's better. Battle is a succession of pivotal moments, wherein life and death can be decided at a single stroke. You must be ready to utilize every tool at your disposal if you are to navigate a path to victory, or at the very least, to ensure that you live to fight another day. Enough practice. It's time for the test. You've recovered from your soaking, I trust. You wouldn't want to kick a man while he's drowned.
I thought you'd never ask.
Come then, Lord Rossfield. Spar with me. If you believe yourself worthy to be called Shield of the Flame, then prove it.
As you wish, my lord.
Have at me, boy. Make proof of your strength.
Final lesson. Defeat the Lord Commander. Breaking an opponent's will. The will gauge indicates an opponent's will to fight back. Break their spirit by landing attacks and strike them when they are vulnerable.
Go on, you're sure to beat him this time.
You can do it, Clive. Just stay calm.
You're taking this seriously.
Keep going, Clive.
Ah, staggered. Staggering your enemies. Lord Murdoch's will has been broken, leaving him staggered. Try dealing as much damage as you can before he regains his senses. Use R2 and square to execute Rising Flames, a powerful iconic ability granted Clive by the blessing of the Phoenix. Alright.
Well, it's time I took my own advice and used all the tools at my disposal.
So used to circle being my dodge that
Just a little more. We believe in you.
You're a damn
keep hitting the wrong button. There we go. Training complete.
He won! See? I told you he could do it.
Aye. Bested at last. It's taken me long enough. That was a display worthy of your father. You are a true shield of the flame, and let no one tell you otherwise. Including me. What are you lot gawping at? Back to your drills.
Joshua. I was just tired.
Thanks for the heals.
Phoenix's flames are a gift. You mustn't waste them.
It isn't a waste. My shields look after me. Why shouldn't I?
That's why. You were coughing this morning too. You shouldn't be outdoors.
I'll be fine. It's just a cold.
Don't push yourself.
His Grace has returned!
Father's back.
Hey.
Your Grace, please, this is no place for one such as you. I would gladly brave hell itself to see my darling boy. Gentlemen, Rosaria thanks you for your indefatigable loyalty.
Thank you, Your Grace. We live to serve.
Joshua. You should not be out of doors. We have discussed this.
I'm sorry.
Good day to you, Mother.
Come, Joshua. Your father will be expecting us. Lord Murdoch?
Your Grace.
What a way to treat your own flesh and blood.
I know. It's not his fault. Not everyone can be born the Phoenix.
We should join them.
Rise, my friends.
Welcome home, Father.
Thank you, Joshua. You are well, I trust?
Yes, Father. Much better. Today, Jill and I went to the Bailey to watch Clive's spa.
Is that so?
Quiet, Torgal. Stop it, boy. Not now.
You'll make a fine hound one day.
Father.
Lift up your head, girl.
Thank you, Your Grace.
The capital rejoices at your safe return, Your Grace.
War is coming, my boy. We must make ready.
Is the situation truly so grave?
Come to the throne room. We will talk there.
Yes, Father. Your Grace.
Shields dismissed!
Torgal! Where do you think you're going, Clive here is off to see the Archduke.
Right.
Sunrise, sunset. Finding your way. Should you find yourself lost, do not fret. Hold down L3 and trust in your animal instinct to point you in the right direction. Your current destination will be displayed with a red icon.
Is trouble brewing?
There we go.
I'm not sure. I need to speak with Father.
All right. Let's get this stuff on.
Finding items. Useful items can be found across the realm by those who know where to look. Items can be discovered and viewed on the Items tab in the main menu.
And all the Duchess calls for our heads.
Phoenix will be with us. Savages, those Duchess.
In there. Right, so there's where I'm supposed to be going. I saw up above, from in the sparring pit, another
Make sure all the crystals are accounted.
bit of sparkliness up here, so I do believe.
Need to shift this lot before we lose the light.
Yep, never mind. Yeah, that's what I was trying to get to. But don't appear to be able to get to it. Wah, wah. Unless there's like another way around. Oh, yeah, it looks like there probably is.
Good as new.
Forgive me, Lord Marquess. Pray do not concern yourself with this bungling cur. Bow to him, you fool. Did I say to speak?
It was no trouble. Really.
Oh, do not indulge him. To be allowed to stand in your lordship's presence is more than his kind deserves. Why, neither the Empire nor the Republic treat their bearers half so well. He was lucky to be born in your father's dominion. Very lucky, as I remind him every day.
Stand, please.
Stand.
I trust his good fortune will continue.
Of course, if that is your lordship's wish.
Don't work too hard. Remember, it is for the good of the duchy that you serve.
As do we all, my lord. As do we all. Come along now. Back to your duties.
Looks like they're getting ready for supper.
I think someone's hungry.
Hey, there we go. High potion. Great.
Fine display, my lord. Almost felt sorry for the Lord Commander.
Oh, he'll be fine, I'm sure.
Wheat harvests down again, apparently. This war ends up dragging on.
I'm having my bearer fill the well, my lord. Best to save what crystals we can, eh?
Yep, just straight up slavery. Got it.
Nice and quiet in here, isn't it? There's Joshua.
Marquis. Forgive my man, he'll be done in a jiffy. Just getting the place tidied up for the big procession.
Clive,
Are you worried about the war?
the soldiers will expect the Phoenix to help them, but I don't know if I can.
Don't worry, Joshua. Father will guide you. And I will protect you. Always.
I know. Thank you, Clive.
I mean, between trailers and just the amount of foreshadowing that those lines are doing, I know that's not going to end well.
Do you understand? The power of the Phoenix dwells within Joshua, and Joshua alone. If any ill should befall him, it will be on your head. Do not neglect your duties again. Yes, Your Grace.
Making an effort. Some large gates and stiff levers require extra effort to operate. Use X to access them, then hold R2 to push or pull with all your might.
Good luck.
You commanded my presence, Your Grace. How may I serve you?
All right, you can stop licking my boots. Mother isn't here.
Do the territories fare any better?
Most lie under a pall of black. In just these few moons, the Blight has taken nigh on all of the northern reaches. It is only a matter of time before it crosses the border.
By the flames.
Nearly every available bed in the capital is already occupied by those fleeing the Deadlands. Even if we were to send them south, to Port Isolde, more would only follow in their wake. Every day we delay brings us closer to disaster. We must move now.
Against the Iron Kingdom.
We have traded blows with them for too long. It is time to end it.
At the very least, we must secure Drake's breath. Without the blessing of the Mother Crystal, we cannot defend our realm from the spread of the Blight.
The Iron Blood will not relinquish it easily. This will be a bitter fight.
We ride for Phoenix Gate tomorrow. There we will listen to the words of our ancestors, as tradition dictates.
Am I to go with you as Joshua's shield?
There is something else I would have you do first. Rodney.
You will have heard the reports, I am sure, of beastmen from the north being sighted within our borders.
Goblins in the Stillwind Marshes. I know of the rumors, yes.
Then you know what must be done. I will give you 2 good men. While we ride north tomorrow, you will journey to Stillwind, search it and clear it. Then you will join us at Phoenix Gate.
It is time to prove your strength. And shut your mother up for good.
I will do my duty, Your Grace.
That will be all. Rest well. We ride at dawn.
Yes, Your Grace.
Active Time Lore. Hold the touchpad to access the Active Time Lore ATL feature, compilation of important information relevant to Clive's current storyline progression. ATL can even be viewed during most cutscenes. All ATL entries can be accessed later in the game. Alright, so we are in Rosalith Castle. Situated in the heart of the ducal capital of Rosalith, it is from this towering ivory fortress that the Archduke and his family rule their nation. An architectural feat the founder himself would be proud of. The castle has stood since the early days of the duchy, and watched over the rise of this proud nation and the people who inhabit the city beneath. Grand Duchy of Rosaria. A nation occupying the western reaches of the continent of Storm, with Rosalith as its capital. Rosaria was originally formed from a collection of smaller dominions, all of which now stand united under the banner of Archduke Elwyn Rosfield. Not possessing a mother crystal of its own, the duchy has long been locked in bitter conflict with the Iron Kingdom over possession of Drake's Breath, which lies still further to the west in the midst of the boiling sea. Elwyn Rosfield, Archduke of the Grand Duchy of Rosaria and father of Clive and Joshua, loved by his people for his steadfast leadership both at home and on the battlefield, which he put to good effort in quelling the rebellious northern territories. The Mother Crystals, enormous glassy mountains, 5 of which tower over the lands of Elisthea. They are the source of all of the crystals that the people of the twins rely on in their everyday lives. Not only that, but the lands surrounding them are rich with ether, making the magics the crystals cast even more potent. For these reasons, great nations have sprung up around each mother crystal and have long warred with each other for possession of their blessings. Yeah, makes sense. The Iron Kingdom. Also known in the local tongue as Heran, the Iron Kingdom is an archipelago nation situated off the west coast of Storm, with its capital at Yeah. The mother crystal, Drake's Breath, rises from a volcanic island situated just within, or without, its borders, depending on whom you ask, and has been the subject of a long-standing conflict between the Ironblood and the neighboring Duchy of Rosaria. The Iron Kingdom's inhabitants shun any contact with the outsiders, which has given rise to a unique, if largely inward-looking culture. Cool. All right. So, make our way upstairs, I guess. Retire to your chambers. Any shiny shinies up here? It doesn't look it, but... pretty.
No messages, my lord.
How long will you be away this time?
Not long. 4 days, maybe 5.
And you will be taking Joshua?
Well, I can't exactly leave him behind, can I? The blood of the Rosfields runs in his veins. Before going to war, we perform the rite at Phoenix Gate. It's our way. You know that. And only the dominant can enter the apothecary, so yes, I'm taking Joshua.
Oh, to hell with your way! The boy is ill.
You think I don't know that? But the boy is also the Phoenix. The heir to the throne. You can't keep him in swaddling clothes all of his life.
Elwyn!
Don't worry. Clive.
Let me add Annabella. Annabella Rosfield, Duchess of Rosaria, wife of Archduke Elwyn, and mother to Clive and Joshua. It was not only her beauty, but her connection to a bloodline that produced many previous dominants of the Phoenix that led her to being proposed as a bride for the young Archduke. Indeed, the two are cousins. Okay. Having known from a young age that her purpose in life was to preserve her Phoenix-bearing bloodline, she dotes on Joshua and scorns Clive. Joshua, second son of the Archduke of Rosaria, Joshua was appointed heir to the ducal throne by virtue of his awakening as the dominant of the Phoenix. His love and admiration for his elder brother Clive is absolute, and he is only too proud to have him serve as his first shield. His love for carrots, less so. Okay. And the term dominant. Those within whom sleeps the power of an icon. Though they look and think no differently to any other man or woman, they can not only cast elemental magics without a crystal, but also transform themselves into beasts of world-shattering strength at any moment, a quality for which they are honored, worshipped, and feared the realm over. Okay.
We'll watch over him. Though he is a youth of but 15 years, he's already a fine soldier. He will make a splendid shield.
You see more in him than the Phoenix did. He was rejected, Elwyn. Our household has no place for such a failure. He is worthless, a man like any other.
As am I, my dear.
Nonsense. You are the Archduke of Rosaria.
Oh, not this again. You know as well as I do that I only sit upon the throne because my father was taken before his time. I am merely warming the seat till Joshua comes of age.
You are your father's firstborn son, and you sit upon the throne. All is in its right place. Unlike some, You have not disgraced our noble blood.
Without men like Clive to keep us safe, your precious noble blood would long since have graced the gutter. We have an early start. I'm going to sleep.
This is it then. Time to prove yourself.
Wishing on a star?
I'm a little old.
Who is Jill? Jill Warwick. Born a princess of the Northern Territories, Jill was made a ward of Rosaria after her homeland's incessant raids were quelled by the duchy. She was raised in Rosalith Castle alongside Clive and Joshua, who came to love her as a sister.
Dad, I should get some sleep.
Right. You're going with them tomorrow, aren't you?
I am Joshua's shield. I'm sworn to protect him. He takes too many risks. I only wish I could save him from himself.
Clive, you...
I have another mission too. Father has given me my first command.
Well, if you're not going to pray to Metia for your safe return, I shall just have to do it for you.
Hey, there's Metia. Metia, the burning red star that sits beneath the moon. Folklore ascribes to Metia the role of message bearer to the moon, so it is common custom across Valisthea to wish upon the star, that one's heartfelt desires might be conveyed to the heavens and beyond. I dig that this is an ability basically like the, Amazon X-ray or whatever it is. You're watching Amazon Prime stuff. It's like,
There's
all
going
right,
to be
who's
another
in this
war,
scene?
isn't
Here's their IMDb pages.
Since coming here, I've begun to take peace for granted. I assumed the war between our nations would be the last. But it never really ends, does it?
No. The next war will be bigger than before.
But you'll be all right, won't you, Clive? You're a shield of Rosaria, after all, and blessed by the Phoenix.
It's getting cold. We should go in. My lady.
Good night, Clive.
He thinks he doesn't think of her quite as a sister.
Sorry, Ambrosia. We won't be hunting today.
Don't worry. I'm sure you'll do brilliantly.
I'll try.
Good luck!
made for Phoenix Gate! May the blessing of the crystals go with us! And shield the Firebird's flame forevermore!
His Grace departs! Open the gates!
Lord Rosfield, allow me. I shall see her safely to Phoenix Gate.
Thank you.
Biggs and Wedge.
We're ready to depart, my lord.
May I say what an honor it is to serve alongside...
Oh, Ambrosia is the Chocobo.
This is to be no mere investigation. If there are goblins in Stillwind, they won't leave willingly. The Beastmen are a fierce foe. We underestimate them at our peril.
Not today, we won't.
Sir Wade, Sir Tyler.
Not Biggs and
Let us
Wedge.
do our duty.
With pleasure, my lord.
As you command.
To the marshes, then. And may the blessing of the crystals go with us.
World Map. The world map displays all the locations indicated by glowing pins currently available to Clive via fast travel. Stillwind, Western Rosaria. There was a time not long ago that the songs of civilization echoed through Stillwind's knotted bows. Now the settlements lie abandoned, and the only sound to escape this forsaken place are the howls of beasts that have fled the Deadlands to make the bogs their home.
Keep your eyes open for those goblins. The reports placed them in this area.
It's all swamps from here. What's your step, my lord?
And everything else.
Lost in a fog. Timely accessories. Feeling overwhelmed? Try equipping one or more of 5 timely accessories. For example, the Ring of Timely Strikes allows its wearer to chain complex attack combos only using square. The Ring of Timely Focus slows time before an incoming attack, allowing for an extended evasion window. As with all items, timely accessories can be equipped and unequipped on the Gear tab in the main menu.
Not exactly the most well-maintained path.
And who do you imagine would maintain it? They've all fled from the Blight.
It's hard to believe that anyone used to live here.
The old village of Stillwind is ahead. Not that there's a lot left of it.
To Guild. So much for the element of surprise.
With me.
Magic Burst. Use triangle after striking an opponent with square to conjure a magic explosion that deals significant damage.
Goblins.
Huzzah.
So the reports were true. We should press on. There may be more ahead.
Main menu, Attributes. The Attributes tab provides a comprehensive overview of Clive's current level, status, abilities, and gear. Okay. Items. That's what I want to do. Main menu items. The items tab contains lists of all non-gear items currently in Clive's possession, including those used in quests. Consumable items, such as potions, can be used at any time from this tab. Assigning shortcuts. Items can also be assigned shortcuts for quick access during gameplay. Select an item from the consumables list and press square to bring up the shortcut window. After confirming the button it is to be assigned, press X to confirm the decision. Alright, yep, we've got potion, high potion, stone skin, tonic. Cool. And my shield ensign, a brazen seal received by all ducal shields upon completion of their accolade. May the blessing of the crystals go with us and shield the Firebird's flame forevermore. Ducal shield oath. We got our journal, main menu journal. Journal tab contains information on main story progress as well as all current completed side quests. Lost in a fog. Bade by his father, the Archduke, to address reports of the ever-spreading blight having driven a horde of goblins into Rosarian territory, Clive journeys to the Swamp of Stillwind, accompanied by a pair of loyal shields of the duchy. Alright, there's our map screen. We've already been there. Gear and icons. Main menu, Gear and Icons. Gear and Icons tab is used for equipping weapons and armor, as well as assigning icons of iconic abilities to available slots. Obviously, I don't have any of that stuff yet. I do have these. Do I want any of these? Ring of Timely Focus, Ring of Timely Evasion, Timely Strikes, and Timely Healing. Nah, I'm probably good. And abilities. Main menu, abilities. Ability points can be spent in the abilities tab to acquire new abilities, as well as upgrade existing ones. If you are unsatisfied with Clive's current build, reset all abilities and try again, as there is no penalty for doing so. Lovely. Ability details. Details of each ability and feat can be viewed by selecting its icon. Sword indicates an ability's capacity for dealing damage, and the other indicates the ability's capacity for breaking a target's will. Well, I only have 50 ability points, so we'll go ahead and leave them be for now. Strength tonic.
Welcome to Stillwind.
Have care, my lord.
There's more.
Loot. Some enemies will drop gil or items upon their defeat. Loot is gathered automatically by approaching the glittering icons. I appreciate that they're yes men saying, hey, you're doing great, buddy.
Worthy of song, my lord.
Got all of them good. Okay. Just kicking it down. Any goblins over this way? No? Another strength tonic, great. Alright, just in case. We gotta investigate just a little bit more out there. Okay. Wasn't some kind of tricky, like, oh yeah, here's a fun little platforming puzzle for some other goodie. Insufficient inventory space. Potion used. Okay. Okay, I'm supposed to go this way. Oh, hey, there we go. Up the ladder, probably. Yep.
Watch out, my lord. Some of their number are spell slickers. And what a number! We'll all have our hands full here. This should help. Thanks. Not overreach yourself, my lord.
Might as well use a potion. Let's probably pick up another one in here. Hey, called it.
We should be nearing the old village square.
In there. Just use the
Might not be
potion
a nest of
automatically.
goblins. Sneaky sods. We're trapped.
My lord. I'm working on it. He's the leader. But we'll have to take care of his followers first.
Care to thin the herd? As if you have to ask.
And stay down! Forevermore!
Mortal blow.
And there was one.
Shit! He's invited a friend!
feet, Sir Wade.
Here it comes!
Formidable foes. Larger enemies must be faced with caution. They have far more HP than their smaller counterparts and will often use devastating abilities to overwhelm opponents. Use the Blessing of the Phoenix to not only deal considerable damage to these enemies, but also break their wills. Breaking an enemy's will can stagger it, leaving it unable to attack and vulnerable to attacks.
Founder, that's a swing and a half. Be ready to move when it winds up for another.
You don't have to tell me twice.
There we go. Partial stagger. Enemies will become partially staggered when their will gauge is reduced to 50%, creating a short opening in which combination attacks are easily landed. Oops. Go, now fully staggered. Hitting them while they're down, completely reducing the enemy's will gauge will stagger it. Extra damage is dealt when an enemy is fully staggered, increasing with each strike landed, up to a maximum of 150%. The total amount of damage dealt during this time is displayed upon the enemy regaining its senses. Parry. Use the square button just as an opponent attacks to parry the strike, temporarily slowing time and leaving the opponent open to a counter.
Nice try.
Let's break the guy's will again. There we go. Super good. That less so. But there we go, we killed him. Gigas slain. Hey, we leveled up. Up to level 6. We got a battle reward. Following important battles, a separate results screen will appear displaying battle performance and rewards. Rewards are based on performance and may include items, gear, ability points, and experience points. Hard leather armlets. Though at first glance this modest wrist piece might appear an uncomfortable fit for those cursed with fleshy forearms, upon further inspection one would be relieved to discover the band incomplete, affording its wearer a modicum of comfort, be he swine or starveling.
And fight, you coward! After him, before he summons the rest.
Gear and abilities. Gear can significantly improve player attributes, but only when equipped via the Gear tab in the main menu. Similarly, the right abilities can turn the tide of battle, but only if learned and mastered via the Abilities tab in the main menu. Mastering existing abilities, as well as learning new ones, requires ability points, which are earned in battle or by completing quests. Let's go ahead and add some hard leather armlets. up our defense. And yeah, I don't. Let's see. And on the abilities, sure, 100. Now I got 150 points. Let's see. None of these are any good. Burning Blade. Okay, yeah, I'll do that, sure. I don't have enough ability points to master any of these things, but that's neat. Lunge. X and square swiftly close in and attack a distant enemy, sure. Down thrust. Use X and square while in the air to slice down. Okay. Swift recovery. Use R1 to recover immediately after being knocked back or down by an enemy. That may be a good one to have. I'll do that. And charge magic, sure. So everything but the taunt. Okay. We got another high potion. We got another regular potion.
There he is.
Damn it!
This ends now.
Nope. Another big baddie fight. Nope.
What's in there?
Big baddie's gonna take him out. Ooh, a marble. No, thank you.
Warble is far south.
Keep clear of its maw, my lord. That thing's breath is worse than its bite.
That reeks!
I said, stay away from its mouth!
Where's it going?
Your guess is as good as mine.
Don't!
Cinematic Strike. When the screen flashes blue like this during a pivotal moment in battle, press square before time runs out to deliver a devastating blow. He staggered him. Right.
Now! Before it recovers!
stagger again.
He won't be gone for long. Cannot fall here.
Cinematic evasion. When the screen flashes red like this during a pivotal moment in battle, press R1 before time runs out to evade the incoming attack.
Now for the final push, my lord! I think we made it angry. I'd rather we made it die.
Me too. There we go. Morball slain. And we leveled up again.
My lord.
Good work, folks.
I never thought I'd see it. Not just goblins in Rosaria, but moorballs too.
I'll petition His Grace to send a detachment.
If we don't stop them here, they'll be at our gates before long.
We should get moving. We don't want to be caught out here after dark.
If we set off now, we can still reach Phoenix Gate before nightfall. Damned blight.
Off to Phoenix Gate, northwestern Rosaria. This aging seaboard citadel not only defends Rosaria from the northern raiding parties, but also serves as sacred ground whereupon the duchy's dominant might commune with his or her ancestors and entreat their guidance on the eve of important battles. Sometime later.
Suddenly, thousands of red eyes. No, wait till you hear this. Wait till you hear this. His lordship draws his sword. The goblin chief runs off screaming straight down a mortal's gullet.
More tales! Drink and be merry, boys! Good work on the morrow.
Must be gratifying to see your student making such a name for himself. The young lord has a bright future ahead of him.
Aye, and one of these nights he may even deign to join us.
He doesn't like carrots. I read that earlier.
Are you unwell?
No, Father. Just a little tired.
Well, it has been a long day.
They all like Clive, don't they?
Aye. Your brother will be a fine shield. We're all very proud of him.
Father? Why is it that the dominance is always born into our family? It doesn't seem fair.
We cannot live without the blessing of the crystals. And the crystals work their magic through us. You have been blessed, Joshua. Blessed to be a dominant, to wield the power of an icon. Our family has been chosen to share that power with the people. So that is what we must do.
I forgot to show it off earlier, but I'm wearing my Moogle shirt. Final Fantasy VI. Yeah.
Louder, my friends! Louder!
I don't suppose I'll be missed.
Poor Jill. She'll be wondering where you've got to. So much for you being a fine hound.
Can I get information on Torgal? Yes, I can. Torgal, Clive's faithful friend, brought back from one of the Archduke Elwin's expeditions to the frozen northern territories, where he was found half-starved and shivering in a snowfield, having presumably been separated from his pack. Elwin gifted the puppy to Clive upon his return, and the two became nigh inseparable. Also the Phoenix Gate, a walled keep situated near Rosaria's northwestern border. It was originally constructed to serve as an outpost in the wars against the northern territories, but its true significance lies deep within the ruins atop which the stronghold stands. Here, in an ancient chamber accessible only to the dominant of fire, is held the rite of ancestral communion, an important ritual in which it is believed that the phoenix can hear the words of the duchy forebears. Any new stuff from these folks? No, doesn't look like it.
So this is where you've been hiding.
What are you doing out here?
I didn't see you at the feast.
Feasts are the only time shields are allowed to take their ease, and I've never really been one for cakes and ale.
It's the vegetables I don't like. I hear you slew a marble. All the men were singing your praises.
They never used to. When I joined the ranks, everyone thought I was a spoilt little lordling. If I didn't know how to handle a sword, I'd be a laughingstock. The Archduke's firstborn failure. You're the one they really believe in. I'm jealous.
That's not true. They don't believe in me. They believe in the power of the dominant.
My brother the Phoenix, ruler over life and death.
It isn't fair. It should have been you. I don't have what it takes to lead our people. I don't have the strength. But you do.
Every man has his duty. Ours was decided long ago, when our ancestors chose to instate the dominant as the Archduke of Rosaria. All to ensure that whenever our nation stood on a precipice, the Phoenix would rise from the flames to drag us back from the brink. The fate of Rosaria sits on the dominant's shoulders. It is your duty to bear that burden.
What about you?
I was born to be your shield. That is why I was given the Phoenix's blessing. To keep our future rulers safe. No matter what. However hard it gets. I'll never let you down.
Thank you, Clive. I know you'll always take care of me.
Before I can do that, you need to take care of yourself. All right?
I should go inside. It's past my bedtime. Good night, Torgal.
Supplies from the capital.
You took your time sampling the wares, were you?
Oh, that.
It's a good job the North is full of enterprising traders keen to keep us in wine.
Spare a
There
barrel.
you go, dead.
What in the...
Yeah, they were bad guards. We've got assassins in the keep. The Ducal army.
Gateway secured, Captain.
We proceed as planned.
Is that...
Forgive me, my prince. It's me, Wade. You probably don't remember me.
I remember. What is it?
We're under attack. I don't know who they are, but they've set light to half the castle. I must get you to safety, Your Highness.
Very well. I'm ready.
Follow me, Your Highness.
Flight of the Fledgling.
Are the enemy already inside the castle?
I'm afraid so, Your Highness. We must hurry. What was that?
I have to help them. Everything's on fire.
Fall back, Your Highness! He's not one of us!
No. I must do my duty.
Just a boy. Catch your breath.
I saw them at the feast. They were laughing.
This is Sambraquagab. But why would the Empire?
We must find my father.
Who does that?
Boy, take him! Damn it, the bastards are everywhere.
Why would the Empire do this? They're our allies.
I'm guessing they see you as weak and want your power.
I have the dominant.
Oh, do you?
You're unhurt.
It's a pretty good cure, yeah. Kiraga.
Tyler! Damn it! His wounds are deep.
I can save him.
Your Highness,
Don't worry. You're going to be all right.
I'll hold them off.
Clive!
Joshua! Come here. Tyler, you're hurt.
I'll survive, thanks to His Highness.
Your Grace! Lord Murdoch!
You rescued the young prince. Well done, Sir Wade.
I am in your debt, soldier.
Thank you, Your Grace.
We cannot stay here. We should make straight for the rear gate.
Omnia lost Alan, Tuisa Gelif. May the winds speed you to Rosalind.
The north gate's up ahead. There are chocobos in the stables. Father, take Joshua and get to safety.
No, I'm not going without you. You're supposed to be my shield, remember?
I remember, which is why I'm going to hold the enemy here while you make your escape.
I will order our remaining forces to rally at the gate. Now go.
I will do my duty. You must do your duty too.
I know.
You have to keep Father safe. I'm counting on you, Joshua. We're too late. Everyone's dead.
Damn it all.
Captain! Take them.
Let none escape.
As you command. You take care of that spellcaster. I'll keep the others occupied. That's them done. Are you all right?
I'm fine. It's my father and Joshua I'm worried about. We should head back.
Oh, we got a dragoon coming in.
Right, look out!
May I have this dance?
He's an Imperial Dragoon.
And you are the shield who was blessed by the Phoenix. Not that it will save you! Valerian! Wow!
Not quite.
All right then.
Stay still, damn you!
Your time is past!
He's open! Now, Clive! Have at it!
You're going to regret that, boy.
It's time to both those.
To Sandbrag.
Take that, dragoon.
Are you hurt?
I'm fine.
So, they sent in the Dragoons. Imperial Vipers. Do they really mean to invade us?
Not yet. Their numbers were too few. They were not here to take the castle. They were here to take heads. Our work is done. We should return to my father.
My lord, look. We issued these sashes but yesterday, in Rosalith. If they were already among us, what if there were others?
Father and Joshua are in danger.
We must hurry. Take your steed.
What is that?
Okay. Interesting.
Uncle, you're all right. Thank goodness.
Your Grace, is everyone safe?
For the moment. We ride for Rosalith to rally our forces. I will need your help to see Joshua safely back to the capital. On you get, Joshua.
Father?
Betrayal.
I'm sorry, Your Grace, but that won't be possible.
You honorless snakes!
Stay back! I'm warning you!
Run, Joshua, run!
No! Pig!
Jesus. Alright, yep, this is definitely a darker Final Fantasy.
You must do your duty too. You have to keep Father safe.
I have to. I had to. Clive,
I'm counting on you, Joshua.
Oh, fuck.
Kill him! Now!
Phoenix.
The Phoenix!
Joshua! Lord Murdoch! His Highness! Joshua! Stop this! He's lost control. I have to do something. I have to save him.
No, my lord! Fall back! Clive!
Good chocobo.
Thank you, God. You saved my life. Get her on her feet and run. Please. Joshua, are you in pain?
Not now. Come on! You're his shield. Do your duty.
Save him! My lord?
What impossible.
Oh, and we just lit him up. Okay. And we're back to the opening fight. Yep.
Who are you? It's me! Oh. Leave me alone!
Embodying the Phoenix. Following commands are available when playing as the Phoenix. Fire, aim, and evade. When your opponent is directly within your sights, targeting circle will expand. That is the time to fire. Hey, I evaded successfully that time.
This cannot be! There is only one
ocean in. Cool. All right.
My flames may flicker, but they shall never die!
Icon of Fire vanquished. Good job, Joshua. Brutal.
Stop it! Take your hands off my brother!
Help me! Help me, Clive!
Joshua! Stop it! Stop it! I swore I would protect him! Please! Please! Stop it! I'll kill you! I'll fucking kill you!
Thank you for playing the demo. Okay.
Please!
Quite a mess that monster made. Damn shame about the Phoenix, but can't be helped. Oh, my condolences, Your Grace. Is there aught we can do?
Haven't you done enough, Captain? Joshua was my world, and now he is gone. I can only pray there will be a place for me in the world his radiance seeks to create.
I see. Your Grace, over here. The rubble must have protected him from the worst of the flames. Shall we take him prisoner?
No need for that. Kill him. Wait. As my husband never tired of telling me, he is a fine soldier. I'm sure he would make an excellent addition to the Imperial front line. All in its right place.
Take this one.
Alright, she's good.
Chin up, lad.
She's gonna
You're
be somebody
going to be
to
a soldier.
brutally kill. There we go. Well, that's the prologue, I guess. Yeah? Yep. Alright, well that's the opening chunk of Final Fantasy XVI. You've completed the Final Fantasy XVI demo, but there's still more story to tell. If you would like to learn more of Clive and the Dominants, please consider purchasing the main game. Already got it pre-ordered, my guy. Thanks. So yeah, that's Final Fantasy XVI's opening. I'll probably sit down and do a second. Yep, there we go. My playthrough data can be carried over. Play the demo again. You must select new game. Okay, that's fine. Yes, go ahead and create a demo complete file. Cool. And yeah, no, I'm good there. Iconic challenge. That's been unlocked, as well as the... Yeah, I guess the iconic challenge is... Yeah, puts you in control several hours into the story. So maybe I'll sit down and do a second Let's Play of that. But it is almost 4 o'clock in the morning, so I'm going to edit this real quick, get it uploaded, and then call it a night. Thank you for joining me. You can find new Let's Plays from us every Tuesday and Thursday, and sometimes bonus ones like this one. As always, stay nerdy and be good to each other.